Hello there everybody, it's Jacob and Cosmo from Storyhouse here, and we are so excited to bring you this week's episode of Jacob and Cosmo Explore. Cosmo is so excited he is already getting on the trail for his detective work and he's just walked off. This week is all about careers and we are so excited to explore all the jobs that you might well want to use your skills within in the future. Are you ready? Let's get going. So then, what on earth does it mean to have a career? Well, the word itself, career, has various meanings, mostly having to do with a job. The word comes from a French word meaning road. It came to mean someone's path through life or through a particular part of their life, for example, school. You might have heard your school career. It basically means your path through school. Later on, many people started to use that word when they were only talking about someone's work, and then later on again, a profession or a job that has an opportunity for advancement. Alternatively, a career often means a sequence of related jobs within a single industry or sector, such as a career in medicine, for example, or a career in the building trade.
Okay then, here comes your first mini task. Cosmo and I would love it if you could find yourself a pen or a pencil. Basically, something to write with. And you'll also need something to write on, like a scrap piece of paper will be absolutely fine. It doesn't need to be fancy. You might even want to use a device to type these down as well. Whatever suits you is absolutely fine. Your task, and you will have 2 minutes to do this in, is to jot down as many different jobs as you can possibly think of. This could be anything. It can be jobs that you're really interested in and ones that you're not interested in at all. It's all about quantities here. It's all about trying to think of as many as we possibly can because there are thousands and millions. For example, you might write down a teacher or a doctor. You might write down someone who works in a supermarket. It's up to you. It can be as many as you possibly like within 2 minutes. Are you ready? You might want to pause your video at this point to find yourself your writing implement or your device.
Okay, are you all set? Get ready, here comes the timer. 2 minutes to jot down as many jobs as you possibly can. Here we go! Okie dokie everybody, how did you get on? There are absolutely thousands of job titles to think of, but when you're on the spot in 2 minutes, it's pretty tricky, isn't it? Here's what I came up with in that same amount of time. Teacher, doctor, nurse, teaching assistant, footballer, actor, musician, stage manager, chef, waiter, security guard, librarian, sales manager, supermarket worker, vet, delivery driver, athlete, artist, architect, can you tell I started on the A's there, quantity surveyor, carpenter, electrician, and also I managed to sneak in dancer at the end as well. Now that was just my list off the top of my head, and you may have come up with absolutely loads of other job titles. If you did, fantastic, well done you. Since my 2-minute timer has finished, I've thought of others as well that I can't believe I didn't write down. For example, mechanic, firefighter, scientist, flight attendant, soldier, lifeguard. There are absolutely loads that I missed, and I bet you missed a few and went, oh, of course, I can't believe I didn't say this. That's okay. But the idea behind the task is to highlight that there are absolutely thousands of jobs out there in the world, and it's up to us to work out which one of these jobs or careers suits us, which ones suit our skills, which ones suit the things that we are good at. Here's the next part of our mini task then, and what I would like you to do is highlight some of these jobs if you feel that they are interesting to you, if you can imagine using your skills, the things that you're good at, in one of these jobs or careers in the future. If you wrote your list down with a pen, you can just circle them. That would be absolutely fine, or even underline them. If you typed yours up, you might want to highlight them on your device. In this activity, you can highlight as many or as few as you like. This is a personal task. It's all down to you. The amount of time this part of the task takes is absolutely up to you as well, because you might well have already made a decision. You might need a little bit of time to think. That's okay. But at this point, pause the video and highlight or underline or circle any of these job titles that appeal to you. Are you ready? Here we go.
Okay everybody, well done. At this stage you should have highlighted the job titles that interest you. Now, you might want to explore these a little bit more. Of course, in this video we can't talk about every single job title in the world because then, well, the video will be about 6 days long and we've all got important things to do. You might want to do your own personal research. You could even pause the video and do that now and come back to it later, or remember, keep it in your brain and do some research once you have finished the whole of this particular video. It's up to you. I've been wondering what Detective Cosmo has been getting up to. Shall we try and get in touch with him?
You might remember, at the beginning of the video, Cosmo wandered off in search of some information. I wonder what he's got in store for us. Detective Cosmo, come in. Do you hear me?
Loud and clear, Jacob. Good timing. I've just finished searching through the Storyhouse archives, and I've managed to get in touch with some of the staff who work there. I thought it was a good place to explore careers, because there is such a wide range of jobs in a cultural hub like Storyhouse. I found some videos. Ooh! Sorry, I thought I saw a cod treat. Anyway, I found some videos, and the first person we are going to hear from is Alex Clifton.
Brilliant. Thanks, Cosmo. Okay, everybody, whilst we're watching this video, think about the jobs required to keep a theatre running. Here we go.
Welcome to our theatre. This is our 500 and uniquely flexible 800-seat theatre as well.
I'm just going to pause this for a second because look, on the screen you can see under Alex's name his job title, Artistic Director. He is the Artistic Director of Storyhouse. Generally, an Artistic Director's responsibilities can include choosing the material that is performed on the stage, the hiring of creative or production personnel, and other management tasks. They may also direct productions. For example, Alex directed A Christmas Carol. Let's carry on with the video, and in it, Alex is going to tell us more information about the theatre.
Here we can be millimetre perfect with our sight lines, with our positioning of seats and the stage. For an actor, The intimacy of that contract between actor and audience is really special, and that's something we wanted to capture in this space.
Hold it right there. I spy some more job titles. Can you see? Look, these people are preparing the stage area and actually changing the seats and the configuration of the theatre. That's another job. Sorry to interrupt again. Let's get back to the video.
So the 800-seat theatre allows us to present the best touring national and international work. So big musicals, bits of circus, bits of contemporary dance, comedy, jazz, gigs. The aim with that...
Sorry, me again. But look, another person doing another job at Storyhouse. This person is selling programmes and helping customers find their seats.
The aim with that for us is to bring joyful nights out to the city again. It should be a relaxed, informal atmosphere in here. It should be celebratory, somewhere people can come, gather together and have fun, enjoy themselves. And there's nothing better for me than popping in at the end of a show and seeing 500 people giggling, smiling, having fun, moved, feeling enriched by the work, the stories that we tell in here.
Great work, Cosmo. That footage gave us a really good insight into just some of the jobs that you can do within the theatre. We didn't even get on to talking about performers, for example. There are lots of other jobs too. Okay, what else have you got in store for us?
Our next clip from the archives features Linda, our library team leader.
Right then, whilst we're watching this video, let's have a think about the jobs required to help keep the library running. Here it comes.
We've got the longest opening hours of any library in the UK. We're open from 8:30 in the morning till 11 at night. We integrate across Storyhouse with all the rest of the teams. We've seen a...
Whoa, look at all those beautiful books in perfect order. But they don't just magically fly back onto the shelves like that. No. We need the members of the library team to keep on top of everything and put the books back on the shelf. They do so into genres and then alphabetical order. Sorry, Linda, carry on.
We've seen a big difference in the way that people use this library, particularly in terms of families and younger people. We see loads of families. Our rhyme times on a Wednesday and Friday, 60 to 80 people go into the storytelling room for those sessions.
Look, more job titles. In this image, you can see a member of the Storyhouse library team overseeing the story time session. And you can also see a storyteller telling the story.
It's much livelier, it's much more accessible. It's a really great fun place to be and to work.
Thank you very much, Linda. Okay, Cosmo, what's next?
Next video is all about our cinema, featuring Nikki Beaumont, our film and digital program manager.
That sounds fantastic. Okay, everybody, let's think about the type of jobs required to keep a cinema running. Here it comes.
We are inside Storyhouse's boutique cinema. It's a 94-seat intimate little space in the heart of Storyhouse. The Storyhouse cinema is 100% independent. It's programmed from here in Chester for a Chester audience. You can see the best of blockbuster entertainment, interesting stories from around the world. We have Will Cinema Strand. We also bring classic films back to the big screen, National Theatre.
Sorry, Nikki. Look at that. The projector. That is where the film is beamed from, and we need somebody there to work it. Another job. Anyway, let's carry on with the video.
Royal Opera House productions, we look at seasonal programming, we look at different ways we can approach film programming and different ways of telling stories in the building.
Thank you very much, Nikki. Doesn't working in a cinema sound really cool? And Detective Cosmo, good work as ever. I think a cod treat might well be in order.
Cod treats.
Those videos helped us explore 3 aspects of Storyhouse, and we even mentioned some of the job titles, but there are loads more, and I bet you've spotted some that I haven't mentioned. Maybe we can explore some more in the next part of the video. Here is our drama activity then, and it is so exciting because we're going to go on work experience. We're going to go on work experience at Storyhouse. We're going to imagine that we are there and doing a series of jobs across and around the building. Okay, the first thing you need to do is make sure that the area that you're in is safe. So be it at home or at school or wherever you may be, make sure there are no hazards around you. A little bit like a safety officer would. More of that later. Okay, have you done your safety check? Good, then we are ready to go. I would like you to close your eyes. You can do that now, and no peeking. So, with your eyes closed, imagine that you have been transported outside the Story House building, right in the heart of Chester city centre. When you open your eyes, your day of work experience will begin. Here we go. Open your eyes now. Our day has begun, and I'd like you to imagine that you're outside the building about to begin your day. Ooh, look at that. How beautiful. Let's go through those doors. Let's walk towards the doors. Imagine you're walking towards the doors, a little bit like that gentleman there. And now you're in the foyer. The first job that you're going to do is in the children's library. Here we are. Firstly, your job title will be librarian. Your first task is to take a book from this trolley here. So imagine that you've grabbed the book. Fantastic. Take it from the trolley and you need to put it back where it belongs in this part of the library. Imagine that you're here now. Okay. The books are in alphabetical order usually, so we need to check the name of the author. Once you have found the author's surname, you need to find the relevant shelf. So, for example, if your author was Michael Morpurgo, you'd be looking for the M shelf. The letter is M for Morpurgo. So, have a look around and see if you can find it. Use your imagination and complete your librarian task by putting that book back on the shelf. Okay, once we are done, we are going to travel to the next part of Story House. And look, here we are. We are in the kitchen. And behind the counter there, you can see somebody working. So the next job title that you're going to explore on your work experience day is a member of the service team. A service team member is a little bit like a waiter. So imagine that the customer has just requested a glass of orange juice. It's your job to get that and take the payment for it as well. So now, become a member of the service team and fulfill your duty. Okie dokie, expertly done. Let's move on. Your next job is that of a health and safety officer, and we need to make sure that this area here is safe. So let's get to work. Imagine that there is some form of tripping hazard on the floor. It could be an umbrella that someone's left behind. It could be a book that somebody's dropped. It could be a comedy banana peel. Who knows? Whatever it is up to you. But make sure you safely move it. If it's a banana peel, you might chuck it in the bin. If it's a book, you need to put it back on the shelf. Imagine that you're a health and safety officer doing the rounds, making sure the building is safe, and get everything in order. If you haven't already started, you can do so now. Okie dokie, well done. Everything looks safe there to me. So let's move on to our final location and our final job title. It is that of a performer. Now, a performer can mean many things. You might want to choose to be an actor. You might want to choose to be a comedian, someone who tells jokes. You might want to be a dancer, a poet, a musician. It's entirely up to you, but you're going to be a performer and imagine that you are performing on this very stage. You may well have begun your imaginary performance on the stage already, and if you have, that's fantastic. Well done. But you may also be gathering your thoughts, and if that's the case, no problem at all. Why not pause the video here and prepare something in more detail? You might want to develop your own little play. You might want to create some freeze frames, which are frozen pieces of drama. You might want to do some dance moves. You might want to sing a song. It is entirely up to you. You may even want to do all of the above, and that would be cool too. If you would like to do so, pause now. Okay everybody, well done. That brings an end to our day of work experience at Story House. I really hope you enjoyed exploring some of those careers. However, of course, there are loads of job titles that we haven't explored in this activity. For example, we didn't get to visit the cinema, did we? You could extend our drama activity by thinking of the other job titles that you might want to explore. That could be a cinema projectionist, a member of the HR team, somebody who works in finance, a chef, a stage manager. There are loads. You could extend our activity even further by imagining that you're doing jobs outside of a cultural hub like Storyhouse. For example, a doctor or a scientist. It's entirely up to you.
Well done, everybody. That brings us to the end of this week's Jacob and Cosmo Explore. We really hope you've had fun exploring careers. Cosmo is off to do some more research. Thanks, everyone, and bye.